Karmazen are words I use to identify my own individual philosophies. The practice of this philosophy has helped me to find an inner peace I had not found before. It is not Buddhist, Christian, Hindu, or any other organized religion. Karmazen borrows techniques from many religions and philosophies. It relies heavily on meditation for clarity of thought. Some have likened it to Objectionism, a philosophy by author Ayn Rand. I only recently discovered her work, but it is similar. My Karmazen philosophy is offered here for examination. I encourage you to look at it and use what you find helpful and leave the rest. It is an ever-evolving set of principles that work for me, nothing more and nothing less. Thank you. Morning, afternoon, or evening as the case may be in your part of the world. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Zen Archer. I've had a lot of questions recently and a lot of comments about people making one another mad. And how do I deal with people who make me mad? And I think the problem, at least as far as dealing with it, has to do more than anything else, not with them making you mad, but with you being mad. You see, when someone calls you a name, let's say, and you respond to that with anger, one of the reasons that you respond to it with anger is that you identify with something they said. It may be something that you yourself are self-conscious about. It could be your weight or your height or your color, or it could be any number of things, just the way that you carry yourself. But it's something that you yourself are a little self-conscious about already. And somebody pointing to you and pointing it out or hinting at it causes you to be angry, or you think. But what actually causes you to be angry is not what they said, but your own insecurity that what they're saying might just be true. And so you feel outed and embarrassed and hurt and wounded, and you want to hurt them back, and you react in anger. Now, it doesn't help you at all to be angry. It doesn't teach them anything, because you are angry. All you do is cause more stress in your life, because you've given them the power to identify or to define, not to identify, but to define who you are. You're allowing them and their small view of you to tell you who you are. You are accepting what they say, even when you're yelling about how it isn't true. That happens with anger in a lot of different situations. If I'm driving down the road and there's a woman in front of me who is driving, in my opinion, way too slow, and I've got someplace to go, me being angry at her or flipping her the bird as I go by, blowing my horn, yelling and screaming, probably won't be noticed at all by her. And I end up driving along in a rage, probably too fast, probably recklessly, and endangering myself because I let that anger control me. On the other hand, if I realize that there may be a reason that she's driving so slow, she may have a small child in the car, there could be a bottle of milk, or maybe she's just afraid that her coffee cup will get dumped over.
I can be a little more forgiving of her driving a little more careful, and it's easy to find a excuse to give to her by simply saying what would cause me to drive a little slower or more cautiously. I then no longer have the anger towards her. I'm not driving without thinking. And I feel better myself. So anger is its own reward. Learning to control your anger and to be a little more understanding of others is not only good for them, but good for you. Now, it just doesn't work with anger, and it just doesn't work with negative things. If you allow someone out here on YouTube to tell you how wonderful you are because you said this cool thing that just happens to be something that's popular at the time, and you buy into that, and you think about how wise or how thoughtful or how enlightened you might be, you are also allowing others to tell you who you are. You are also inflating your ego and thinking you are somebody. And that will often affect how you treat others and how they treat you. And at times may even give you a messiah complex, or make you think that you're better than anyone else. And the fact of the matter is, you are not better than anyone. I'm not better than any of you out there. You're not better than me. We are all created equal. We all have different strong points, and we all have different weak points. But I believe that we're all created equal. But allowing others to tell you who you are is counterproductive to your inner growth. It's nice to have somebody pat you on the back and say, hey, good job. But maybe what you should be doing when that happens is showing a little humility and saying thank you and letting it go. Being thankful that they appreciate something that you did. And that one act does not make you a great person. So, if somebody yells and screams and calls you names, thank them for their opinion. At times you may want to listen to what they say. You may want to hold it up and examine it yourself and see if perhaps they are actually guiding you towards a better place. Perhaps what they're saying is right. It's very possible that at least on some occasions, Zen Archer is an asshole. I think sometimes he is myself. But he's okay with that. I'm no better than any one of you. You are no better than I am. We all basically want the same things out of life. And we all have different ideas about how to get there. If you can give others their freedom to make their own choices, to do what they believe is best, if you can remind them once in a while when they get off the path, perhaps they will choose to get back on the right path. Or maybe they will blaze a new trail that has not yet been walked on. I'm a firm believer in free thinking, and I'm a firm believer that the beaten path is for beaten men. If others have gone on before you, doing the thing that you would do, and the result was not a better place, why do you think you traveling that same path will have a different result? If today you do something and it doesn't work out, break the cycle. The next time that situation comes up, step back, become the observer, remove yourself from the emotion of it, and try to look at what everybody needs and what is beneficial to everyone, yourself and the other people involved. Be the observer. And once you observe and things are a little clearer, perhaps your path will be different, and perhaps you'll make a difference, and perhaps you'll make your life easier. When you do nice things for people, when you take a shopping cart back, help somebody with groceries, help someone cross the street, help them dress, it's a selfish act. It's completely selfish. What I do out here is completely a selfish act. I don't do it to feed my ego, but I am proud of the person that I am because I care for others. And that's why I'm doing this video today, because I care for you, and doing this video to try to help you find a less stressful life, to help you identify the things that are causing you stress and discomfort, so that you will be able to decide perhaps a better way to deal with it. Makes me feel good. Makes me feel calmer. And allows me to be a better person. That's why I do these. So I thought I would leave you with those few thoughts. I've just touched on some of the subjects, and I will get into more depth at another time. But for now, just take it for what it's worth. Listen to it a couple times if you need to. I'm not telling you that I have all the answers. What I'm doing is holding this up for examination. Turn it around. Look at it. If it sounds true, if it is true on examination, then follow that. If you look at it and say that doesn't work, I don't see how I can do that, then just move it to the back of your mind. Just let it sit there and do what you think you should. You see, I believe that all people are good at heart. And that given a chance, they will do the right thing. Sometimes it takes someone else to show them what the right thing is, or to at least point at it so that they'll look at it. Sometimes just being a bad example is the best way to go. And I hope if I am a bad example to those out there, or to anyone out there, that it helps enrich their life. And if that works, then I'm also a better person for it. So until next time, I wish you well, and be well. This is Zen Archer.